How's it going, everyone? Dead Meme here. If you notice in the background, I've actually stolen Nafucker's background music, and my video's already demonetized. Thanks, Roman. But yeah, I've basically stolen his background music to further become Nafucker's clone on YouTube in 2020. Now today, I'm going to be making a completely original video, a video that no YouTuber on the existence of planet Earth has ever made before. And that video, my friends, is a storytime video, specifically about why you shouldn't bring knives to school. Now you may be telling yourself, Shiba, it's perfectly common sense to not bring a knife to school, you could hurt someone or get fucking suspended. Well, I live in America where everyone's basically a dipshit and we need people to tell us that coffee is hot. I mean, we're still on lockdown because people think that the coronavirus is a political opinion and, not a fucking virus. Just American problems, am I right? So everyone, before we begin the video, grab your brand name cereal and let's get right into the common sense. Now, our first story begins when I was in 2nd grade. So, basically almost a fucking decade ago. God, I'm old. Now, of course, the average 2nd grader is a fucking idiot. Of course they are. It would be no surprise that our first story takes place in one of the earlier years of school. So, I remember when we were going to recess in 2nd grade, there was this one kid sitting behind me, or standing behind me. I don't give a shit, lol. I'm gonna give him a name, Tim, whatever, your mom gay, lol. Now, Tim was in 2nd grade, and, he was one of those kind of weird kids that no one would really talk to. So, basically, present-day ex-Shiba Inu. Lol, that's so funny. Self-deprecation, hahaha. But we were standing in line getting ready to go out to recess and, have some fun. Basically what every 2nd grader does. And so he was standing behind me, or whatever, I was just vibing pretty much. And he goes to the kid behind him, and he goes, check this out, look what I have, and he pulls out a fucking pocket knife. Now, of course, being in the fucking country that has one of the highest school shooting rates, I mean, it has the highest, who am I kidding, lol. Basically, everyone was fucking terrified. I'm just kidding, no one really cared, to be honest. I mean, this is the same country where you can eat fried butter, so, no one really gives a shit here. But, we go out to recess, we don't think much of it, and the next time we're going back to class, I see him in the office. And, he looks pretty sad, he looks like he's crying. And I instantly know what happened, he got in trouble and some bitch tattled on him. Fuck whoever tattled on him. Basically, the knife got confiscated, and, well, I'm not done with the video yet, there's still more stories. Now, this one actually comes from one of my friends that I went to school with, and I literally texted them about this and, asked if I could use this story. I don't want to get fucking sued, lol. And, I actually know their parents, they fucking drive me to school, so I would actually get, killed or something, lol. So for the sake of this story, I'm gonna make a new name for them, so, they don't get fucking harassed, and I don't get sued, and I don't get my ass beat by my dad, lol. I think I've said lol 15 times, but shut up. Shut up. So, for the sake of me not getting my ass beat, let's call this person Alice. Now, I had basically met Alice a year before, this was 5th grade pretty much. Just a bit smarter, but is still a fucking dipshit kid. And Alice was part of my friend group. My friend group of literal furry. I'm not gonna talk about this, just fuck. Yes, I was a furry, and no, I won't tell you what I did, fuck off, fool. But we would usually hang by this soccer goal in our school field, where all the kids would run around and beat the shit. And being dipshit furries, we defended this goal with our life, this was our hangout spot, this was basically our home, our country. And so one day when we were going out to recess to, I don't know, do furry shit, I don't fucking know. We saw a group of 4th graders at the goal instead of, it would normally be empty. And so, we were pretty confused, and so we asked them pretty nicely, hey, could you move from the goal? This is usually our spot. We usually vibe here. And the 4th graders were basically like,
no, you can't fucking vibe here, lol.
So, we were pretty pissed off because that was our spot, we usually hung out there. And so we went to lunch and devised a plan to get these 4th graders out of our fucking goal. We talked about furry shit, I don't fucking know. But Alice, in her amazing big brain, decided to bring a knife to school. Now, I'm not talking about a knife that could fucking kill anyone. I'm talking about a butter knife, you know, a dull knife that the most damage it could do to you is like fucking scratch your skin or whatever. And so the way to bring the knife in without being caught was to hide it in her lunchbox. So basically what would happen is their parents would pack lunch for them, and they decided to bring the knife in the lunchbox. So, you know, they wouldn't notice, and of course the school wouldn't actually look in their lunchbox, you know. So basically you can bring anything to school. And I wonder why we have so many fucking school shootings. And so we go to school, you know, where we're chilling the first few periods, and then bam, it's recess time. So Alice pulls out her lunchbox from her backpack, and she brings the butter knife with her to recess. Now, seeing the butter knife, I was a huge pussy considering how I'd already gotten in trouble that year. And I didn't want to get fucking kicked out of school. Who actually wants to leave school, you know, because I'm a goody two-shoes piece of shit. I'd basically pussied out and was chilling at the playground, so, you know, I was pretty far, but I could see what was going on. And so Alice goes over there, and they basically threaten the 4th graders with a knife. Now, I'm pretty sure that the 4th graders, you know, just fucked off or whatever. So basically everything was fine, and then we went to lunch. And later in the day, they got called to the office and got in trouble or whatever. And that next time we went into the lunchroom, there were no knives. Meaning that either 1, a bunch of fucking dipshit junior high kids probably like killed someone or whatever, or 2, that was the exact reason why we no longer have knives at our school. Now, I still go to the school, and basically not being able to fucking spread butter on my roll, it's really hard. Treating us like people that could literally kill anyone if we wanted, you know, it's kind of fucking retarded in my opinion. That was not the last of people fucking threatening people with knives. Well, not exactly in this next one, it was more of just showing a knife. Now, this next one actually happened quite recently. You know, it kind of happened before this whole coronavirus thing, so it's pretty recent, lol. But what basically happened is that I was just vibing ceramics class, you know, I'd finished all my projects, and, you know, I was just drawing or whatever. And I look at some kids, you know, at the naughty kids table, that's what they called it. And, you know, they were just hanging out or whatever. And so it comes almost to the end of class. So, you know, I'm walking around, I'm getting ready to leave, you know, go to my next class. And one of the kids says he has a knife. Now, let's call this kid, so I don't get sued, let's call him Kyle. Now, Kyle was one of those kids who got in trouble a lot and was basically on the verge of suspension. So basically, if you breathed in the wrong direction, he would get fucking suspended. And so he was like, hey, bro, I have a knife. Do you want to see it? I was like, sure, yeah, well, let me see that shit. Is it a fucking CSGO knife? And basically, that was all it was. You know, he showed me the knife, he let me look at it, and then he put it away. You know, I thought it'd be over there, but no, my friends, it wasn't over. So I was just sitting in Spanish class, you know, fucking learning Spanish. You know, whatever you do in a Spanish class. And so the Spanish teacher, you know, he stops in the middle of the lesson because he gets a phone call. And then he looks at me, and I wonder, holy shit, I'm gonna get, like, fucking destroyed. You know, he hangs up the phone, and he says, Shiva, you have to go to the counselor's office for something. And so basically, because I have anxiety, every single second going to the office, I felt like I was actually going to get murdered or something. That I had basically murdered someone, and I was going to jail for the rest of my life, and that today would be the last day I would live. So, you know, I go into the counselor's office, you know, and everything's fine. And the counselor's, she's just asked me, you know, what happened in ceramics class, Shiva? You know, I heard something happened. I was like, oh, just some kid, you know, he showed me his knife or whatever, you know, he didn't really threaten anyone with it, you know, he was just, you know, chilling. He just showed us a knife. Well, I thought that would be the end of it, you know, just, you know, he showed us a knife. He didn't try to, like, fucking stab anyone. He wasn't, like, some terrorist or whatever. But no, the kid literally got fucking expelled from the school because he was missing from ceramics class the next time I went there. I'm not even joking, I mistakenly got a kid expelled from school. I hope you guys enjoyed this really shitty storytime video. A storytime video I basically stole from every single YouTuber who has ever made a storytime video in the existence of the site. I hope you enjoyed these stories as much as I enjoyed going through them. I definitely enjoyed going through them. But moral of the story, kids, don't bring a fucking knife to school, or you might get expelled, or you might get butter knives banned from your school cafeteria. Our like goal for today is 1 like equals 1 iPhone. I will send you an iPhone, an original iPhone, not like a new iPhone. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.